for activity here in the light modifieds. Brian Arducci has won 5 of 6, including a victory the last time that we were here. But it's Burt Willett who said he has never taken a better car to Thompson than the modified that he has tonight. He will be going elbow to elbow with Wayne Burrows. Many times he's won in the mini stocks, looking for his first light modified victory.
Light modified action on track. Outside lane has the advantage as they dart down into the turn. Wayne Burrows, who's a mini stock champion here at the racetrack, takes over the top spot. Burt Willett settles into second. He's got a lot of pressure. Mikey Flynn in the 54 and Stephen Chapman going side by side for third.
And pounding away at the back bumper of Flynn, Brian Arducci, who now squeezes to the inside, creating a temporary three-wide situation. But it is Burt Willett who rises to the occasion, and he launches himself into second.
Arducci slips up to take the third spot. Teddy Hodgson in the 55, stepping on the line, just outside the top 5. Sparks flies. He gets into the side of Stephen Chapman through turns 3 and 4. Both drivers able to continue on, but Hodgson lost a lot of momentum.
Yeah, it looks like that 55 car, Hodgson, is wounded as it lurks about in mid-pack. Here comes Narducci going for second. Inside Willett as he blurs his way like a nuclear power machine trying to get into second, but Willett still has the advantage.
Outside lane, Willett holding on. Brian Narducci, who for a long time went undefeated in light modified competition at this racetrack, has been the center of some controversy over the last week or so, is battling. He's in the third spot, and he's right on the back bumper of Willett.
And he went up high, maybe to be able to make a springboard move down low. Here comes Narducci as he is gorilla taped to the back bumper of the Willett car. Battle for 4th and 5th between Flynn and Chapman and Hodgson. Here comes Narducci, authoritative move to the inside.
Hard on the brakes was Narducci getting into turn number 3. Draws alongside Burt Willett as they come across the line. But Willett still holds on to the spot as they get back to turn 1.
Well, Willett said he had a great car. He is proving it. And Narducci, will he make one more Tasmanian Devil move to the inside? He is going to wait. Flynn moving up into the top 4. Chapman is behind him. And Wayne Burrows, looking for his first ever light modified win, is leading by a tree trunk.
He's been good all day long. Has Burrows fast in practice, fast in qualifying, and now he's fast in the main event here several hours later. Still battling duel for that second spot. Narducci continuing to work the bottom lane of the racetrack. Behind them now a side-by-side battle developing. Oh, in trouble! It's Burt Willett into the outside wall. Nowhere to go. Stephen Chapman piled in. Mikey Flynn piled in. And now the 15 car late to the party of John O'Sullivan had nowhere to go. And he collects as well. Side-by-side battle for the second spot. Narducci and Willett came together. Willett into the outside wall, and he collected a lot of good race cars.
And that was a very punishing hit for Burt Willett. Came to tonight, he said, with the best car he has ever brought to Thompson. Unfortunately, it was only good for 6 laps. And now it has crumpled on the front straightaway. The Polar Beverage Streb Family Chiropractic car, it is damaged goods. Roadkill on the front straightaway.
Let's go back down to pit lane and Dave Baraball.
Another driver we have, Justin Bonsignor. Justin, can you tell us your thoughts before we go green later on?
Just excited. You know, we got a shot at another win here to keep this streak going. We got a real good car, but the 2's real good. Obviously, they've been on a hot streak this year with speed, but we're not far behind. So we haven't been dominant during this streak by any means. So hopefully we can, you know, have a good car during the race and have a good pit stop, and we'll let the cars fall in the last 30 or 40 laps, hopefully. But thank all the fans coming out on a Wednesday night. Good crowd here tonight. So excited to get this going and seeing if we can keep this streak going.
What do you think has been the key to your run of success here at Thompson?
These guys standing around me and Ryan Stone, we're bringing really good race cars to the track, and Ryan does an unbelievable job. Guys have single-handedly won us a few races with some pit stops, but it's just a total team effort, you know, from Phoenix Communications all the way down to the guys on the team. So we'll see what we can do.
Guys, there you have it from Justin Bonsignor as we get ready to go back racing.
I agree with Justin that crew has done some great things during his winning streak. And sometimes he didn't have the best car, but he had the best crew, and that enabled him to win 6 in a row.
So we're getting the opportunity to see a replay by the cameras that are provided here from NBC Sports and their broadcast, and for the Fans Choice folks who are watching at home at fanschoice.tv, get multiple angles of the incident, and you can see the two machines were racing very, very close together between both Narducci and Burt Ouellette as they came off turn number 4. Ouellette's car up into the outside wall, and then two cars right behind them were racing side by side, Mikey Flynn and Steven Chapman working onto the back straightaway. So an incident here on lap number 6 of this light modified event brings us under the caution flag here, slowing a very hotly contested race.
And we're able to look at it from multiple angles, and now giving us some information. Let's go back on pit road to Dave Barabalt.
Well, now we're going to talk to the hottest driver on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and that's Ronnie Silk. Ronnie, your thoughts before we go racing tonight?
Just excited to get going. Had a good car all day. Just a little bit too loose in time and rolling off 7th, but not a bad spot. So made some adjustments before the race, and hopefully they're the right ones.
What do you think is going to be the key to tonight's race?
I don't know. Everything's pretty important. Having a good pit stop is pitting at the right time, and having a good car. So hopefully we can hit on all 3 of those things and be there at the end.
And guys, there's Ronnie Silk. He'll look to keep it on a roll here tonight at Thompson.
Boy, Dave's got them all. He's got Doug Coby, he's got Justin Bonsignore, he's got Ronnie Silk now. Silk 2 times the winner the last couple of times out, one earlier in the season as well. This team invested in a brand new race chassis, and they have been working very diligently to improve this race team across the board. A bunch of guys that ran on the Modified Racing Series before they jumped over here to the Whelen Modified Tour. They got Ronnie Silk to drive this race car. We replaced Woody Pitcat, and all of a sudden Silk and this team this year have found the magic.
Now the crew member compares Ronnie Silk to another driver who used to drive that number 85 car, Todd Zegedy.
Yeah.
Said they're the same kind of style driver. Maybe Ronnie Silk is one of the best at being aggressive when he has to be and patient when he needs to be. He has that combination, a well-rounded driver, and he has done great things with that number 85 car, and we're ready for another great interview with Dave Barabalt.
And now Patrick Emmerling. And Patrick, your team has given you a hot rod tonight. What are your thoughts before you get ready to go racing?
Yeah, you know, this year we were just searching for speed, and you know, and we found some speed in qualifying today, and we just have to, you know, see if that speed is going to be here for the race. So, you know, I think, you know, we're making the right pre-race adjustments here, and I think we should have a good race car today. So I was feeling pretty good in practice, and you know, and we had some speed, and you know, and hopefully, you know, we keep that speed for the race here.
I talked to Ronnie Silk, and I'll ask you the same question. What do you think is going to be the key in tonight's 150-lap race?
You know, strategy is going to play a lot, and you know, again, speed. You know, we you know, I think here normally the fastest car wins, and you know, the fastest car with the best strategy. That's you know, that's the car that's going to win.
And guys, Patrick Emmerling getting ready to get strapped in to go racing a little bit later on.
He'll start on the outside of the front row, right alongside Doug Coby in the St. Lin Chevrolet. For Patrick Emmerling, he and Jan Leedy working together to try to get this team back on top of their A game. Remember, he won Whelen Modified Tour race at the Bristol Motor Speedway, a track that's not on the schedule here in 2019. But Emmerling's a former race winner, and he's back on tour full-time this year, and he's had some very good runs.
He has a pair of 4th-place finishes. He started the year 4th at Myrtle Beach, 7th at South Boston, and then he was 4th in the 3rd race of the year here at Thompson. Since then, he has had just 2 other top 10 finishes, 7th at Stafford and 7th at Wall, so he has struggled. You know, Ronnie Silk finished 25th in the opening race of the year. Since then, he has gone 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 8th, 4th, 5th, 4th, 1st, and 1st. So if you could take a mulligan in auto racing, he would be right there joining Doug Coby at the front of the leaderboard. You know,
I was going to say, to comment on that, Matt, Silk's run reminds me of some of the championship runs that Coby has had in the past, where he just all of a sudden towards the end of the field maybe struggles early on and then is perfect in the second half of the season. And you're kind of seeing that out of Ronnie Silk. He was a 2011 Series champion, so he's been there and done that before. He knows how to run a championship race.
Well, you were talking about perfection.
Yeah.
And on the King of Beers 150, there is nothing more perfect than an ice crackling cold Bud or Bud Light. And we have the Bud girls here, and I think it tastes better when it's served by a Bud girl. So we have 2 great stands, ice crackling cold beer. There is nothing better than a Bud or Bud Light on tap. So enjoy yourself at the King of Beers 150, and the best way to do that is with that clean, crisp, rewarding, distinctive, tantalizing, hearty, robust, mellow, flavorful, delicious, frosty, ice crackling cold taste that says Bud and Bud Light, and I'm all out of superlatives.
I know, that was pretty good. You won't have any more adjectives to use for the rest of the night. That's it. Matt Buckler on his commercial there laid them all out.
I've used up my quota.
Coming up after this race, the Budweiser girls will be out, and they will be throwing out some merchandise and T-shirts and all kinds of stuff here in the grandstand area. So be ready for that. And, of course, that'll be turning our attention to the Bud 150 for the Whelen Modified Tour. We're ready to go. 6 laps complete of this 20-lap light modified main event. The front row a little bit different. Brian Narducci has been sidelined from this event after the incident there with Bert Ouellette, and that leaves Teddy Hodgson and Wayne Burrows on the front row.
And a good getaway for Hodgson as he got to jump on Burrows, who had led every step of the way so far. Wesley Prucker moving in. He is third, and Steve Chapman is right behind him.
Teddy Hodgson, who's already got a couple of late modified victories this season in Stafford, trying to get another one here tonight, and Thompson leads the way into turn 1 and 2. Wayne Burrows, who dominated qualifying in the early stages of this race after this red flag in the caution period, all of a sudden he's back in second.
Hodgson has never won here at Thompson as he razzle-dazzled his way off the turn. Now Prucker, kind of a wild card, doesn't have many laps here at Thompson, has 1 win this season at Stafford, and he is closing in on the back bumper of Wayne Burrows.
Showing good speed here at the halfway point of the race. 22 for Prucker, right to the back bumper of Burrows in the 32.
Anthony Marvin having a good run. He is right behind Chapman in 5th. Remember, before the qualifying heat today, Marvin had to take his car back into the paddock because of mechanical problems, but he is running a strong 5th. Best battle in the racetrack for 2nd and 3rd between Burrows and Prucker.
Prucker looking low through turn 4. Didn't have it that time. Cross flags are out. Meanwhile, trouble for the 24 of Nate Pitco. Darted way out of line on the front straightaway, all the way down to the infield grass. He was able to rope it back in and continue on, and he still runs in 4th.
Boy, that number 24 car has a wild side. It fluttered all over the place. As that was Pitco was in 4th. Trouble for Prucker. Goes around. And he is in trouble as he traveled in the gravel off turn number 4. And let's see if it will bring out the yellow or if he can recover. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that. So Prucker is marooned. So the maroon car is marooned in turn number 4.
I see what you did there. As the 22 of Prucker parked on the inside of turn number 4, will bring us under the caution flag. 11 laps complete, 9 to go in the light modified main event.
And it is Teddy Hodgson, who is still a senior at Danbury High School, but he was taking college courses, and he actually has a college degree before he was able to get a high school diploma. And because I had trouble getting one of those, and he is on the verge to get 2 right before he even enters college. So Teddy Hodgson, a pretty bright kid, the 4th Teddy Hodgson, and so his nickname is T4. And right now he got to jump on the last restart over Wayne Burrows, and Burrows has an opportunity to retaliate. So the Bud girls will be out, and that is always a tradition here at the King of Beers 150. Teddy Hodgson elects to go to the outside lane, and on the inside will be Wayne Burrows. Nate Pitco having a great run. The USS Chowder Pot sponsored number 24, and he will be lining up alongside Anthony Marvin And this is the best that Marvin has ever looked in a light modified at Thompson.
Yeah, and for not making a qualifying run, he hasn't been on the racetrack in 4 or 5 hours, and he's still looking pretty good. Green flag is out. Look at this start. This time Wayne Burrows on the bottom got a great start over Teddy Hodgson, but Hodgson in the outside lane goes right by off turn 2.
He's able to space shuttle his way around Burrows, so he makes off for that sluggish start by capturing the lead. Pitko in third, and we'll see if Burrows has enough time to track down the 55 of Hodgson.
Burrows was quick in that first 6-lap segment. He's got 8 laps to go. Can he rally back and get some more speed in that 32 car and see if he can track down Hodgson at the front? Burrows a little bit quicker on that time by. He closes in now within 3 car lengths.
Or 0.282 seconds. So that is not a very big lead. And moving up into the 4th spot, Wesley Brucker. So he took one backward step, but now he has invaded the top 4 once again. And it's kind of a cushion for Ted Hodgson. And we'll see if Burrows is capable of making an amazing comeback.
The top 4 are strung out a bit as they go down into turn number 2. Hodgson, 55 out in front. Then you see the 32 of Burrows, Nate Pitko in the 24 car. That car had problems in qualifying. We saw him get out of shape here in the main event, but he's been able to hang on to that top 3 position, and he too is showing some speed at the end of this race.
And Marvin doing a good job holding off John O'Sullivan as he has 1 win this year. Todd Taylor in the 4 car. He said he is just out here to have fun. And after driving a modified, he said he will never go in a truck again and race. He is falling in love here with these modifieds.
3.5 laps to go for our race leader, Teddy Hodgson, as he makes his way down the back straightaway here at this 5/8 mile Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. Wayne Burrows, though, might have saved a little extra in the tank, Matt. That 4 car length advantage is now trimmed down to less than 2 in turn 1.
It looks like Wayne Burrows still has some giddy up. Will it be enough to evict Teddy Hodgson from the lead? Those 2 drivers have opened up a pretty good gap between themselves and Nathan Pitko. So they swirl around the 4th turn. It is still Teddy Hodgson 2 laps away from his first ever Thompson victory.
There they go, back down into turns 1 and 2. Wayne Burrows hoping that doesn't happen here tonight for Teddy Hodgson. Continuing to put the pressure on, getting down into turn number 3. Burrows is there, runs a little bit lower through turns 3 and 4, and closes a gap even more on the 55.
And it is the difference a liquid stick between Hodgson and Burrows. Last lap. Here comes Burrows down low. He has a stick of dynamite as he tries to erupt against the 55 of Hodgson heading into turn 4.
Burrows set him up there in turns 1 and 2. Hodgson gets loose through turns 3 and 4. Here comes Burrows down to the bottom, but it's not going to be enough. Teddy Hodgson was able to hang on by a half a car length to get his very first win here at Thompson in the light modifieds. Hodgson the winner. Wayne Burrows across the line in second. Margin to victory 78 thousandths of a second. And it's Teddy Hodgson in the 55 getting the win.
And Nathan Pitko was 3rd, Wesley Parker 4th. In 5th, Anthony Marvin. John O'Sullivan 6th, Todd Taylor 7th. Matt McDougall 8th, Burt Willett 9th, Mikey Flynn 10th, Steve Chapman 11th, and Brian Narducci finishing 12th. Teddy Hodgson had done it. That car got a little jittery between turn 3 and 4, like almost a caffeine overload, but he was able to get it to the line on the outside. Wade Burrows, a pretty good comeback. He came up just a tad short.
Pretty wild finish. And that turns 3 and 4. Hodgson had his hands full. That car started dancing around underneath him when they came to the checkered flag. Burrows had a shot at it to the bottom, but that outside lane momentum worked for Teddy Hodgson. He was able to get his first checkered flag here at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. Will make his way down to Critical Signs Victory Lane. Well, we're here from Dave Barabal, our Victory Lane host here tonight. Check that. Pete Falcone will be doing the honors here. Keep in mind, coming up in just a moment, the Budweiser girls will be out in the grandstand area throwing all kinds of merchandise out at us. So make sure you go ahead and get in position for that, because coming up after, it'll be time for the start of the 30th running of the Bud 150 here at the Big T.
So here is Teddy Hodgson. This will be a night that he will never forget as he lands into the winner's circle at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. Critical Signs Victory Lane. Don't forget, if you need trophies, awards, window tinting, they do it all. See Jen and Sean and tell them that you saw their Victory Lane here at Thompson, and they will take extra care of you. So Teddy Hodgson will be vaulting out of the car, and the first thing he will be getting is great trophies tonight for the King of Beers 150. So he will be getting his hands on that hardware. I think he's so excited that he's having trouble moving his hands to get all his safety gear off. And he will finally do that. And here is, well, the earplugs go off. The hat goes on. And here is your winner of tonight's 20-lap light modified feature, Teddy Hodgson. He gets the trophy. Then we will be bringing in John Vakarchik, and he will be presenting Teddy with $50 from Napa. And now we will go down to our host of Victory Lane, Pete Falcone.
All right, thank you, Matt. Hey, Teddy, welcome to Critical Signs Victory Lane.
Yeah, I've always wanted to win here since I started last year. We've been very close very many times, but we were able to do it tonight. The car was on rails. Just had the fend off Wayne there for the last couple of laps, and we sure did it. So
Yeah, take us through those last couple of laps.
I knew I gapped him right on the restart there, powering around him on the outside, but the car went away a little bit towards the end, and he was coming. I knew he was better on the long run than I was, so I just had to defend my hardest, and we ended up getting the victory.
Nice going. You got some people you want to thank, I'm sure.
Of course. Every single person that helped me. My dad's not here, unfortunately, on a business trip, so I got to thank Robert, Trent, Pete, Keith Rocco, Tony, Monterey Fuel State Cutters, Keith Rocco Racing for the awesome setups, my mom, my mom, Ultimate Restoration, State Cutters, Just Welding, just everyone that helps me. Thank you so much.
All right, you'll remember this one for a long time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Teddy Hodgkins in Victory Lane for the light modifieds here at Thompson, and very, very excited about it, as is his crew and fans that are gathered down here in Critical Signs Victory Lane.